It starts with a few keystrokes, trolling through the internet for their darkest fantasies. But behind each username is a real person looking for a child to meet in real life. Did you realize how much demand there was for this?
No, I had no idea.
Please get on the ground right now. Get on the ground. Get on the ground right now. No problem.
I just couldn't believe what's out there.
Sergeant Carlos Rodriguez with the Washington State Patrol has helped arrest more than 60 suspected child predators through an undercover operation called Net Nanny, almost all accused of trying to buy sex with young children.
Attempted rape of a child, first degree, and attempted commercial sexual abuse of a minor.
49-year-old Eric Jacobson, a father of two from Enumclaw, is among those arrested in the operation, accused of trying to buy sex with 8- and 11-year-old girls. He maintained his innocence at sentencing last week as Sergeant Rodriguez sat in the courtroom.
I choose to put my fate in the hands of 12 unknown people because of my belief in my innocence. Unfortunately, these jurors saw differently, and I stand here today having been found guilty of the charges that I still profess my innocence of.
Do you have people who just can't understand why people think it's wrong?
There are absolutely people out there that think it's normal.
What is that here? Just what's this in there?
Just money.
Money? Okay.
Randolph Krantz from Falls City is also among those who Sergeant Rodriguez and his team have arrested. He's accused of driving to this Snohomish County home, expecting to meet a mother and her child.
I knew this was a setup.
He's now charged with attempted child rape and commercial sex abuse of a minor.
Okay, sir, have a seat.
There's a good chance that one or more of the Operation Net Nanny suspects lives close to your family. They come from more than 30 cities across Washington.
This touches everywhere. It's easy to say, well, Seattle's a big city, and so Seattle's probably got that kind of a problem. No, we've made arrests in Ephrata, Washington, Cooley City, Toledo, Washington, Spokane.
Seattle Police Captain Mike Edwards heads up an Internet Crimes Against Children task force, one of more than 60 nationwide.
Recently, a school driver was arrested showing up in the school bus.
Setting bail at $50,000.
They're usually within a short drive or short distance away from the location where they're going to have sex.
Standard range is 26 to 34 months.
Cecilia Gregson, a King County senior deputy prosecutor, works alongside Captain Edwards. Her job is to prosecute adults who exploit children, whether it's online or in real life.
I am asking the court to impose a 38-month prison sentence. The defendant is not a first-time offender. He has criminal history.
Most of my defendants, I would say, have family. They have jobs. They would be considered middle class. The people in their lives are completely dumbfounded that this had been going on under their nose.
Go back over.
There has to be fear. There has to be a consequence that if you get caught doing this or if you do harm to a child, you're going to be held accountable.
But no matter how many suspects are arrested or put behind bars, there is no shortage of new cases.
The first stop that we did, we posted an ad. We had over 100 responses in less than 10 minutes. You could give me 50, 60, 70 people and there'd still be tons of work.
And you have how many?
I have 2 detectives and myself. I mean, I'd love it if I didn't have to do this job, but the sad fact is I do.
For Sergeant Rodriguez, the hardest part of the job can sometimes be pretending he's a predator in order to catch a real one.
You're actually apprehending somebody who wants to do harm to a child, or you're actually rescuing a child, or you find a lead towards that and you get a rescue. That's the best feeling.
The conversations he has with child predators online are far too graphic for TV. And like others who do this job, he has been deeply impacted as a father.
Now that I do it, I don't see how I can do anything else.
I am asking the court to impose a 38-month prison sentence.
Captain Edwards and Cecilia Gregson are also parents, and the job has taken a toll on them as well.
Since most things are videos now, I can't have the sound on. It's one thing to see it, it is another thing to hear it, and I can't get it out of my head.
You never forget the first image. In fact, you don't forget any of them. When you're out there having seen these images and these videos, now we rescue that very child that was in those. That's when the mountain falls on you.
Seattle Police Detective Ian Polimis had to stop investigating child exploitation cases after 8 years.
You know, the way I explain it now, especially when I talk to fellow investigators, I tell them I did 8 years, which was really 1 year too long.
So you knew it was time?
It was time. It was absolutely time. The last year I was doing this job was really, really, really difficult for me. All right, come on.
He now works as the full-time handler for Bear, a dog trained to sniff out electronic storage devices that suspects might be using to hide child pornography.
Cell phones, iPods, iPads.
Bear also helps detectives cope with the mental stress of their job.
It's an opportunity for them to take a break for a few minutes if they're having to review content or deal with these cases and, get their mind in not so pleasant places.
I don't think I could do this forever. Maybe take a break for a while and then go back and do it.
The driving force for all of us is there's a kid out there. There's a child out there that needs to be found, needs to be rescued, and there is a suspect that's got to go to jail.
They're also focused on using their experiences to help other parents protect their kids, starting with their cell phones.
I can't think of any bigger threat in their day-to-day lives. Not one.
This allows millions of people to have access to your child without your knowing it. Literally millions. That particular app that takes that picture and deletes it in 10 seconds, why is it your child needs that? Along with those apps are people who are looking for kids and know how to exploit those kids.
Among all the cases they see, they say there is one type that should be the most concerning to everyday teens and their families.
And it's an emerging trend, or the numbers are growing.
It starts with someone contacting your child on one of those apps or social media accounts, where truly predators can pretend to be anyone. Before long, they start making requests.
Getting the preteen to take a self-exploitive image and then really extorting that child.
Once the predator has one image, they use it as leverage to get more and more, often threatening to post it publicly if they don't get what they want.
And they really get into this devastating pit.
Even to the point of the child committing suicide.
Yes. I wasn't going to say that, but yes.
It can get that extreme.
As investigators and as parents, it's a question they get from other parents often.
What do I do? How do I protect my child?
One of the conversation pieces with children needs to be, if someone has convinced you to do something that you wish you hadn't, you are not going to be in trouble with me if you tell me that you need help because this person's going to send this image to all your friends on Facebook.
You need to have the conversation, just like, if I were to ask you, what do you do before you cross the street?
I look both ways.
Right. You need to have the same type of conversation with this, with what's on the internet, what's out there.
Basic 101, be a parent.